In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Our life is going to be a good one, a bad one. Our life is a good one, a bad one. Depends a lot, a lot upon the kind of habits we have developed. Our habits actually determine either we are going to lead a very good life or even a very bad life. Our habits determine a lot. Devil determines a lot. So it is, I think so, it should be our primary concern. Primary concern of each and every person that whether my habits are good or bad one, we need to keep an eye upon our habits. These are essential. And if at all we are paying enough amount of attention to the kind of habits we are having, I think that we will be leading a good life, inshallah. But unfortunately, if at all we are ignoring the importance of the habits, then anything could happen. Anything could happen. Our life might become unpredictable one, or we might develop certain very bad habits which could even kill us, which could even cripple us, which could even do anything else, anything bad which is imaginable. Dear friends and fellows in Pakistan, look upon the life of a person who has developed the habit of any sort of addiction, narcotics. What sort of life are they leading? Obviously, the worst one, the worst imaginable one. Not only their own life, even the life of their family members as well. On the one hand, they do become the biggest liability of their families. Instead of doing something good, contributing something for the betterment of their family, they become the biggest liability. And they can do anything else to get their fix. They are found ready to do anything else. Even if their addiction is not available, they will be selling the gold at a throwaway price. They can even offer they can even sell their family members. They can do anything else because they don't keep a sense of right and wrong, maybe. All of that thing, all of that feelings and thinkings becomes useless, redundant, ineffective. So, what can we do about as far our habits are concerned? Anything we can do? Yes. Primarily, it is our own responsibility and not the responsibility of anyone else at all. First of all, we need to keep this thing in mind that this is my own responsibility, the kind of habits I'm developing. Once we are very young, obviously, our parents, our guardians, our teachers need to help us a lot. But once we become adult and grown up, it becomes our own responsibility and not that of anyone else at all. We can seek the help of others, but even seeking the help of others is our own responsibility. We need to know if there is a good habit, what could be the possible benefits of it. We need to we need to adopt the good habits. We need to do our utmost to adopt the good habits, particularly the good habits which are more productive than others. But even every good habit is a good habit. Every good habit can contribute more or less for the betterment of our life. So, good habits must be adopted. We need to work very hard. We need to work very smart. We need to do everything else we can to develop the good habits. And we need to do everything else we can to protect ourselves from the bad habits as well. The first thing is awareness. First thing is, the first step is awareness. We need to be aware. If at all it is a good habit, to what extent it can benefit me, although we need to adopt all the good habits. And if at all there is a bad habit, we need to know to what extent it can damage my life and that of the life of the other people. And despite all this, on the one hand, we need to protect ourselves from every bad habit. We need to protect ourselves from every bad habit. We need to know to what extent this bad habit can damage my life and the life of my loved ones, and then the others. But we need to know to what extent it can. It is important actually. Some of the bad habits, I'm not advocating that we should be lenient. We should be rather tolerant enough, and we should overlook it. We shouldn't be overlooking it. Why? Because one bad habit can attract another bad habit. One bad habit, a habit of cigarette, which is obviously a bad habit, can make a person use the cigarettes which are filled with the narcotics. So the cigarettes too, we should be very aware of it. We should be very cautious and careful about it. We need to avoid all the bad habits, particularly the one which are more destructive. Narcotics obviously are very much destructive. The use of narcotics. Anybody, if at all he she becomes addict of narcotics using, what does happen? Their life become totally destroyed. Not only the life of themselves, rather even the life of each and every family member of theirs. And it is very, very, very difficult to rescue a person, particularly for the people of poor families. Rich people too, it's not as easy. It's not as easy at all. But at least they can buy the treatment. They can put them into the expensive hospitals where they people are treated, where the experts of leaning are there, where the expert of weaning are there, where the people where the expert of getting rid of the narcotics use are available over there. The services are available over there. But even then, I think so, the ratio is not very high that the people of rich class do recover. So it is extremely important to protect ourselves from all sort of bad habits, particularly the bad habits which can lead to even a bigger bad habits, particularly the use of